Tonight's show will be perfect.
Good evening, viewers.
You have been visited by the cat of fortune. You will be granted money.
So this is what happened when Ulrich Goldfinger bought a cat.
There was a clause in my contract.
Oh. One of us hasn't been drinking, and it's not me.
Oh, dear. Well, welcome to Let's Talk Trek. We are a Star Trek show that doesn't really talk about Star Trek. Right. Let's have a... How is everybody?
Tired.
I'm on holiday.
Working. James is on holiday now.
Sorry, James, you're what?
I'm on holiday. I've only done 75% of a day's work so far today. I feel like a complete slacker.
Well, somebody must have made senior partner recently.
Done more work than most teachers. Right, shall we say hello to some people?
Yeah.
Who's on board? Who we got? Click us through.
We got Val.
Oh,
What ho, Val?
evening, Val.
Hang on,
Gary?
you told someone to click us through. I started. Don't take over.
Mosey.
Gary. Christoph. What ho, Christoph?
Nadim.
Nadim. How we doing, Nadim?
Oh, and if we have anyone watching from the USS Growler, a big hello from all of us here in the UK. Your XO reached out to me today and was going to come down to our bridge, and they stop it.
I'm sorry.
He was unable to join me.
Can anyone in the comments, please, if you're from America,
If you're from the USS Growler, big hello to you.
could you step forward?
Please stop, James.
No, I'm sorry. I have to confirm with James. This is a real thing. There is a
This is true.
There is a
nice
growler.
guy contacted me, said hello, said, "Can I come and see the bridge because I won't be there on the 23rd?" And I said, "Yeah," and he couldn't make it.
And he's from, because James messaged me about this and said, "Do we want to meet this guy from the Growler?" And I thought James might have been having a wheeze, but no. Apparently, Americans are completely. This is like the whole fanny pack thing. Okay, Americans don't.
I have so many questions. The first one is, what type of ship is the Growler?
Let's have a look. If anyone from the Growler is watching, do chime into the comments and let us know what class of vessel you are.
Have its own barbers on
Hang on.
board.
Before we reveal the classification of the USS
Looks sovereign
Growler,
class to me.
I was going to say we should all take a guess, but
Nimitz class. Let's go for a Nimitz class.
Nimitz class?
is that canon?
Oh,
Gonna be a canon.
Are we talking fictional ship or real ship here?
No, we're talking Trek canon.
Oh, well, that ruins my idea then. I thought there was an actual ship docked off like Ramsgate that someone wanted to come and see.
My favourite ship in the US Navy is the USS Ponce.
Do you remember when we used to be a Star Trek show?
Well, if anyone from America is watching, Growler in the United Kingdom is used by some people to describe a lady's garden. Just to avoid any future, awkwardness, which we're not experiencing here right now.
I'm Dan Mason. I'm listening.
Anyway, well, look, yes, hello to all of you in New York, if indeed you are watching.
And the members of the Growler.
Should we get on with the show, Dan?
Oh, sorry. Carl, you want to try to clicking? I'll stop clicking.
I'll click. I'll do clickies.
Yes, Mark. I'm giggling like a 5-year-old is what this show is all about. So we're fully behind that comment. Well done.
The Europa, is that the one that's in Discovery? Is that the one that gets cleaved in twain by the Klingon ship?
Oh, it could be.
Right. This is going dangerously into Star Trek, so let's
Oh yes, we don't want to talk about Star Trek.
yes, no.
Let's do something else.
swerve that by doing this.
Oh, that's a lot of bass in there today. Right. Okay, because I'm on holiday, I'm being really lazy. And I've been down to a food festival today and bought booze. So this evening's cocktail is already pre-mixed, but I'm going to tell you how to make it. So this is a Caridian popcorn Manhattan. Okay? You're going to need for this 1 bottle of pre-mixed Caridian Manhattan. But if you're going to make it yourself, the ingredients you will need are 1 shot of Caridian rum, 1 shot of Praxian vermouth. Vermouth, as many of you may know, is a fortified and aromatized. I can't say aromatized. Carl, you'll have to do it. You're a barman.
Well, yeah, but a barman that finished a few hours ago and sort of like sampled his own goods.
I'm sorry,
So-
can I just stop?
Aromatized.
Wait.
Fortified wine.
Referring to Carl as a barman.
I beg
is
you,
a bit-
that was
is a bit
probably
like
quite
referring
rude
to
of me.
Tom
Carl,
Cruise
as a
barman.
bar
It's like-
technician, a drinks wrangler,
Right.
a master of spirits, whatever.
Well, I just. Well,
Calling
Anyway,
Carl a
carry on.
barman is like calling
You'll
you an
also
ambulance
need-
chaser.
You'll also need some popcorn syrup from Sigma Draconis 6. So,
right. Can we just
instructions I've got-
stop right there? Popcorn syrup.
popcorn syrup? Because I tell you what, the instructions tell me that to garnish this with your favourite film.
How does one retrieve syrup from a popcorn?
Anyway,
I was
it's actually
wondering
made
about
by a company called here we are, In the Loop, who are based in East
The Loop?
Sussex.
I was
If
wondering
they're
when he said
watching. I'm sorry if I've not given you the review you were quite hoping for yet. But hang on, I haven't drunk the cocktail yet, so 10 seconds of shaky.
I was wondering when James said that you garnish this with Richard's favourite film, how on earth are you going to fit 3 amigos in one glass?
My favourite film contains the word Lydia. But, there we go.
Ooh.
%30 ABV, by the way, so easy.
Go on in one.
Bottoms up.
Go on, knock it back in one. Go on. Don't be a big girl.
I don't want to knock it back in one. I want to savour it. That's very nice, actually. I think vermouth is not used enough in cocktails. I think we'll have to use more of it on this show.
Is that because you've run out of Anno gin?
I restocked earlier today.
Good man.
So, hello, In the Loop. Thank you for this. Delicious.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Now, strange that James is making cocktails. This brings me to some more not Star Trek news, which I thought we might want to just talk about while we're talking not Star Trek stuff. This week is the release of the new James Bond film.
It is.
It is. And has any of us actually seen it yet?
No.
No, I'm hoping to go possibly Thursday or Tuesday next week.
Well, I'm hoping to go on Tuesday. That's my plan.
But I've got to be honest with you. From what I've heard so far, I'm not massively excited. Don't get me wrong. I think I love Daniel Craig as James Bond, but the only one he's done I thought was really good was Casino Royale, and the other ones have been not bad.
I enjoyed Skyfall.
Again, not bad.
Not as good as Casino Royale, granted.
But I'm more interested in going to the cinema to watch it because I'm going to go to Frankie and Benny's for cocktails first.
So what I do ask very quickly is what is your favourite James Bond film and why is it GoldenEye?
Tomorrow Never Dies is my favourite.
What?
Yeah.
Which one,
That's
James?
not
Sorry.
a bad film, actually.
Oh, the one with the pre-credit sequence in Tomorrow Never Dies is the best of all of them, I think, where Bond has to steal the jet fighter with the nuclear torpedoes attached to it. And while he's stolen it, he manages to fight off a guy in the back cockpit while simultaneously engaging in a dogfight with another jet fighter, and he manages to win
Just
that
a
as well.
moment, James. Can you just hold up that cocktail? Yeah. How much LSD is in there? Tomorrow
Oh,
Never
don't tell me.
Dies,
You're
your
going to say
favourite
Never Say Never
Bond
Again
film.
is your
What's
favourite,
wrong
aren't you?
with
The
you?
unofficial one.
No.
Clearly
isn't
the
that
best,
one
the
with the
best
hovercraft at the
Bond
beginning?
film.
Oh, that's Die Another Day.
Let's die another day. The best Bond
Which is
film
implausible
is, of
because
course,
Bond gets captured for 18 months and doesn't escape. That's
yeah, it's
implausible.
implausible. Yeah, the best Bond film is, of course, Live and Let Die.
That is very good.
It's got the best theme tune. It's got the best Bond. It's got a stuntman actually running over alligators' heads.
Yep.
That
I mean,
is true.
come on. What more do you actually want from a Bond film? You know, sorry, Live and Let Die.
Ooh.
Who's the best Bond girl, Richard?
Sorry?
Who's the best Bond girl?
Christmas only comes once a year.
Oh, Denise Richards.
Good choice. Good choice. Worst corny James Bond line ever, but good choice.
Oh, no, we've had worse.
I'm not sure.
Carl,
I think he's attempting re-entry.
Wait a second. We're receiving a signal. It's MGM Casting. Richard, they want to talk to you about the new Bond film.
Who will be the next?
I'll let him know.
Actually, well, this is an interesting thing, Christoph, because I think genuinely. So I saw. I've seen a few things bouncing about, like, do we? Because my genuinely favourite Bond film is The Living Daylights, because that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the Bond most genuine to the books, and I'm a big fan of the books. And like, yeah, James Bond in the books is a white middle class man, but when it comes to films, surely we move with the times and we kind of run with it. And personally, yeah, I think it has to be a man. I think James Bond has to be the title character. James has to be a man. In terms of race, there's been a lot of debate about this. I actually think Idris Elba would be an incredible Bond. I really do. I think he'd make a great James Bond. Am I ready for a female James Bond? No.
Idris Elba's knocking on a bit, though, isn't he? I mean, 10 years ago, I think that would probably be right. I think he's probably getting a bit long in the tooth now.
He's a strong enough actor. That's why he's a strong enough actor.
I mean, Tom Cruise is still playing Ethan Hunt. Yeah,
True.
Yeah, but he's a vampire, to be fair.
Tom Cruise is... Well, I'm waiting for the new Top Gun film. I've been really looking forward to that.
Yes.
But he's getting pushed back. And he's still flying fighter planes. He must be, 60 or something now? I mean, not say 60-year-olds can't fly fighter planes, but they're not going to have the fastest reflexes, are they?
Oh, and we can now make this into a Star Trek thing. Who do we know that flies fighter planes?
Michael Dorn.
Michael Dorn.
And John Denver.
Michael Dorn used his money from TNG to go and get his pilot's license and get himself certified on several fighters.
He's pretty tough for a vegan.
Yeah.
Oh, Rhoda
right.
doesn't want to come out.
Comments, what we got, Carl? I can see one off Emma.
Love it.
Oh, Emma, will you marry me?
Savagery off Emma there.
That is savage.
Um,
No, don't be ageist, Stefania. Come on.
and people also saying that they're looking forward
What about
to...
Graham Norton? He's always overlooked for Bond, isn't he?
People are saying they're looking
was
forward
that?
to...
Don't say his name.
James Corden?
Has anyone seen anything to do with June yet? Anything?
Oh, well,
No.
June's one of the ones I've never read, but I am a big fan of the original film with Sir Patrick.
Is it the remake of Terry and June?
Well, let's actually, we're going to take our normal award-winning show format and just switch it very quickly because Richard should talk about something that's actually in the news. So I'm going to take one of the news slides and talk about it now, and then we'll do a little bit more.
Should we do run the fake news thing then?
Fake news.
This isn't fake news. This is real news.
Yeah, I know, but we've only got one news thing, so.
Oh, okay, go on. Run fake news.
Just a moment. Nadim, you're absolutely right on a top.
Okay. You were just saying about Sir Patrick being in June. And this is the news this week that McAvoy has said that James McAvoy has said that he's starting to feel he may be getting a little bit too old to be doing something as a throwback Picard character. He thinks he's getting a little bit past it now, but he really wants to be.
He doesn't look anything like Patrick Stewart, does he? Just because he's played the same role in the X-Men films doesn't make him.
No, but his acting style.
Stewart.
It's more down to his acting style, which I think he nails very well. But interestingly, in the new Flash film, that kind of ties into this and tenuously into Star Trek, it's been leaked Patrick Stewart is in the new Flash film as Professor Xavier. So I'm pumped for this now. I'm really looking forward to the new Flash film.
McAvoy and Stewart, it's difficult to keep up.
Mr. McAvoy for me is always Mr. Tumnus.
Deadpool did that joke, didn't they?
Yeah.
So right. Let's couple up. We're going to go back to Carl's Collectible Corner. As I've seen some.
Let's talk about Star Trek for a bit.
Yes, let's do this one.
So, dear viewer, this week on Collectables Corner, we have, and it's a modest little piece. It's fairly new. It's a book, a small book. Starfleet Is. And you may remember a little while back, I had the Wisdom of Picard book I got when that came out, and that was full of some of Picard's best and most inspirational quotes. This one I was hoping would be something similar. I've got to admit, it was slightly disappointing. There's some lovely imagery in it. The pictures are great quality, but it is literally just pages of Starfleet Is and then a word.
That looks a bit like it's a play school book, doesn't it?
Very much so. It's not what I thought it would be, I've got to be honest. The best part about it is the foreword at the start of the book, which is by Kenneth Mitchell from Discovery, it's only 3 pages, but it's a great little anecdote regaling the tale of him and William Shatner about the first time he met him and the ensuing sort of like communications they've had. But yeah, on the whole, unfortunately, not what I wanted it to be. Not a book I would particularly recommend. It costs anywhere in the region of about £1,000. But yeah, it's there. I would say it's definitely good for the younger Trekkie. But
it's literally just it's a selection of pictures with a caption. That's your lot. Are there any provocative pictures in there?
It's a selection of pictures. You can pick out any one, and the picture is associated with the word that's on the page. So, like with this one, Starfleet Is Resistance.
It just looks like bullshit, doesn't it?
I was kind of hoping for something like the Wisdom of Picard one that was like a positive, inspirational thing that you could kind of pick up in the morning and go, right, how's today going to run for me? That would be it. And you'd be like, yeah, go on, I'm ready for the day now. But yeah, it's not done that, I'm afraid.
So what we've got then is a juxtaposition between the brilliant book that we saw from Ian last week and this week's coffee table companion, which you can use as a coaster. I think that there must be a happy middle ground where the 4 of us could get together and write a Star Trek book. So let's have suggestions in the comments as to what book you'd like us to write and how you'd like us to go about it.
I've got a better idea, and I floated this in our group chat. I think we should have a North versus South filmmaking competition to reenact one scene from Star Trek.
I did like the sound of that.
With a budget of just 20 Earth pounds. But we'll talk more about that, and we'll make a feature of it another day.
I can do that. That sounds like
I
fun.
think that would be just amazing. To spend 20 quid on at Poundland just to make a Star Trek film would just be incredible.
Can we go to Poundland and ask an assistant what every item costs?
Oh, did you see that document? Honestly, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen, that documentary.
Some things do not cost £1, though. Some things are more.
It depends which Poundland you go to, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got posh Poundlands up north.
Yeah, some of these have got £2 and £5 items. But we are, again, moving quickly into the realms of not talking Star Trek. So let's
Look, I'm drinking from a Star Trek glass, so we're
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
no, Star Trek.
Talking of Star Trek glasses,
I've
if
got
you
Star
would-
Trek hats. Look.
Yeah.
if it's not too much to ask, Star Trek wines, can you please stop shipping to the UK, please? You know,
Yes, exciting news about
Would
the
appreciate it.
Star Trek wines guitars promotions they keep pushing. I made my own, and I've been inundated from requests from our viewer to share a song that I've played with my Star Trek guitar, which is all ready to go, and I'll be doing a bit later on the show when most people stop watching.
wow, can people guess what it'll be, or?
I actually it's a pre-recorded one. I stuck it up on the Riker's Beard show the other day, the Riker's Beard page the other day. So
Okay, so we shall look forward to that one then. Yes. So let's take this opportunity, Richard. If you've got the screen open in front of you, would you like to run the trailer for your away mission?
Yeah.
Don't have to. Don't have to promote your event if you don't want to. It's fine.
Welcome to the bridge. That's
So-
the old trailer.
Yeah, we're going to have to be. We had a few people that were planning on coming to join us that sadly can't now, and we have to. This is a pilot event, but we have to say why they're not coming, and that's that there's some disruption with the rail service between London and Ramsgate on that weekend. So if you are planning on coming by train, please do check that you're happy to spend the best part of a week on a bus to get here or get home. So it's a bit of a shame. The numbers probably aren't going to be quite what we were hoping, but this is just a pilot event anyway. It'd be nice to see, whether it's 10 people or 200, we don't really care. It's going to be nice to see you anyway. So
Yes, we're going to have a lot of fun.
Wonderful. Well, let's move on to some real Star Trek news. So let's
Is there Star Trek news?
boop. New artwork has been released for Star Trek Prodigy. Look at that for a ship.
ship.
It's quite small, isn't it? From what we've seen, the bridge windows. It's got physical windows rather than screens, and so we see them sitting in the bridge, and then we see the windows from outside, which gives you an idea of the scale. It looks like it's about 3 or 4 decks tall. This ship. It's not a big ship by any means.
I mean, if I'm honest with you, looking at that, if you removed the word Star Trek, could you identify anything about, I suppose, the nacelles? For me, nothing about this says Star Trek. I've got to be honest with you. Looking forward to
What
being
about
proved
Captain
wrong.
Janeway standing there?
You see,
Where? Where's
on
On the right.
To me, nothing about this says Star Trek.
you
I'm
said,
really hoping to be proved wrong, as always.
I was
But
gonna say, you said this about Lower Decks, and I really enjoy Lower Decks now.
I'm really pleased you have.
Well, you've stopped watching it, Richard, so you can't necessarily say that you're not enjoying it. Well, you aren't enjoying it, I suppose, but you can't say why you're not enjoying it.
Yeah, I've had better things to do.
Well, talking about
Okay,
that,
that's fair enough.
let's move into our next news article, which is screenshots from Lower Decks this week. If you've not watched Lower Decks yet, please put your fingers in your ears and cover your eyes. We'll tell you when to.
Oh, this looks like they've gone to the mirror universe.
Nah,
Ah,
you would think so.
Ah,
Is it a training mission to prepare for them in case they have to go to the mirror universe?
Let's have a look at else from this week's episode.
Oh, a Klingon with
I
a
did
spinal
enjoy that
injury.
scene.
Is it a Klingon with a spinal injury again?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh gosh, we're really dredging up the old good stuff, aren't we? Just for the datas. There we are. Yeah.
You really should drink more water.
Got to admit, I did feel a bit sorry for Boimler in that bit. Poor little bugger.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, here's something I can be interested in.
Why does it say 3?
Because it's been renewed already.
And
Oh, I thought that was old news. I thought he'd been renewed for seasons 2 and 3 after season 1.
no. Production has started, but sets and stuff have started being cobbled together, I believe.
But we've seen Jean-Luc or Patrick Stewart sitting on a radiator in a corridor, haven't we? What looks to be a Starfleet ship, though.
Yes.
Would you like to see, James? Should I?
Yes. Show me the picture, Dan. Show me the radiator.
Just while you're doing that, I'd like to segue in that if you subscribe to Disney Plus, season 1 and 2 of The Orville are now available on Disney Plus, and that's possibly one of the greatest Star Trek shows ever made.
Now, what we've got there, which an image that came out a couple of weeks ago, is an LCARS panel, which is similar color scheme to that which we saw in sort of the TNG DS9 Voyager era, but not quite. And the buttons are very far spaced apart.
They are. Should we do some more images that came out about the same time, but we've not yet talked about it? Because we had a special guest on last week and didn't go into bits we should have maybe gone into.
Look at that old style chair there, by the way. Oh, I haven't seen these.
Yeah, so these are obviously a Master Systems display from some point.
Yes, and we think it's a new ship.
Do you know, the thing is, well, I mean, I don't know if any of this has become canon after Voyager, but in a lot of the novels, Starfleet is using slipstream drive rather than warp drive, and they're now able to sort of hop quite quickly to the Delta Quadrant. So warp drive is a bit old-fashioned now.
But you see, this could that particular theory could tie in with Prodigy, because I'm sure I've read somewhere about the fact that the Protostar was launched following Voyager's return to Earth, which is why it's got the command hologram of Janeway on it. My suspicion is there that it was launched to try and help any other Starfleet ships that were snatched into the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah.
Now, what's that? You want more images, James?
Yes, please, Dan.
Oh, how very nice of you to ask.
Oh,
Yeah, somebody's making
Is that a sport?
new merchandise, aren't they?
that's
Do you know
nice.
what? If they're going to do the plates, I wonder if they're going to do the 3 seashells.
In all honesty, how would you wipe your ass with those?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
I mean, I live by the beach, so I've brought some shells back and I've tried. And it's not hygienic and it's not fun.
Moving on.
Morning, Stan. This is presumably an
this
extra.
This is Chuck from the Goonies. This is the guy from the. This is the guy from the Goonies, isn't it?
Hey, you guys!
This is. Yeah. Can you name the race?
Lurg. That's his name from the Goonies.
Carl?
I'm afraid not.
So who is Terry Matalas? I'm looking at the moment. He's a writer.
Terry Matalas. He's the showrunner for Picard.
Ah, okay.
Took over from Michael Chabon, I think.
Oh, that's a bosun whistle.
It's not even mentioned on his Wikipedia page.
Where's that? That's a bizarre-looking bosun whistle. C19.
Pretty much the same as the one out of Star Trek.
Undiscovered Country.
That's the one.
That's a beautiful prop. If that's the original one, that's lovely.
The strange thing about all these is we know that obviously Picard Season 2 has time travel in it, but these particular props seem to be from all over the timeline.
Well, there's no reason to think that they might not still be using that very model, Carl.
Well, yeah. If it ain't
I
broke, don't
can't-
fix it.
Read that. Or Carnislager? Is that it?
Arcanus. What's significant about the Arcanus sector?
Arcanus sector. Let me have a look in my map book.
James pulls out his Cabbie's Guide A to Z to the Universe, trying to pass the knowledge.
I do not get all my information from the Junior Encyclopedia of Space.
Estefania, so do I.
It's a
Would you like to marry me?
region of space in the Beta Quadrant near the Federation Klingon border.
Nadim, the Orville is okay. Laugh out loud. It's more than okay. It's some of the best writing I've ever seen. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Estefania, it's
What is
more
the
Star
big
Trek.
thing
Than,
about
we've got a
TARDIS?
little bit of a thing going in the comments here. It's more Star Trek than Discovery. Well, this is the thing. It's what you decide and you interpret that you want Star Trek to be. I think this is the thing.
Is Nadim talking about Discovery or Orville now?
Yeah, he's talking about Orville. So
Right.
you've got to understand that what we want Star Trek to be isn't necessarily what Star Trek is, and that's the thing. Which is what I love about the Orville, because the Orville was made because someone said this is what I want Star Trek to be, and I think they did it amazingly well. But the truth is, it wasn't popular enough. So yeah, you've got to change with the times, and that's all there is to it.
What's going on here? Which one of these is Riker and which is the Wolf Man? Is one of these a before and after shot? I don't know.
No, it's obviously William Riker and Thomas Riker meeting again far in the future.
Wouldn't it be good if Thomas Riker came back? Time to bring him out of retirement, I think.
I wonder if you can book Thomas Riker for an event appearance and he'll actually show up.
Which is
You'd have to get him out of the
You're a
Cardassian
wicked man,
prison
Daniel
first.
Mason. You're a wicked man.
it's time we announced that our event on the 23rd of October at the Atlantis Bar, Jonathan Frakes is coming.
Well, possibly.
So if you want to meet Jonathan Frakes, please book and come. He'll definitely be there.
Except no one has to book. You just turn up because we're just a pub. We're having some fun. There's a few guys getting together, having some drinks.
There'll be some blackjack, some hookers. It's going to be amazing.
This is the point of the show where I am going to actually officially confirm my attendance for the event.
Oh, you're definitely coming, Dan. Oh, it's going to be so lovely to see you.
Are you
I'm
going to
really
bring Carl with you?
Unfortunately, I think Carl is working.
I'm afraid so. Much as I would love to.
He says he doesn't
Oh,
like
it's going to be lovely to see you, though, Dan. I'm really pleased you're coming.
Yeah. I'm going to drive 500 miles and then I'll drive 500 more. Just
If the Proclaimers did walk 500 miles, they'd be in the sea, wouldn't they?
Yes.
But it would be a very touching romantic gesture.
Do you remember that? Which is it? Insurrection, where Data walks along the bottom of the lake.
Yes.
So, can you imagine the?
Then he
Proclaimers
sees the fishy and he's
walking on
like-
the seafloor?
Waving at the fishy.
Yes, apparently that was well, I guess it's kind of obvious because of when it was shot. That wasn't superimposed in. Brent Spiner ad-libbed that because the fish was there, so he did it. Yeah.
Great sort of childlike innocence about it, though, isn't there?
That's one of my favourite moments in the Bond films. Is where Roger Moore drives onto the beach in the Lotus and throws a fish out the window.
Yeah, just like me.
But it's one of those wonderful things. When you read and you speak and you go to the conventions and you hear the characters speak. I mean, Michael Dorn had so much input on the development of his character and the Klingons as a species. Massive input.
What a legacy.
Yeah, and Brent Spiner, again, massive input on the development of Data and where they were going with it. And you know, it's you know you've got great television when the actors become so invested in the characters that they're willing to put in the method acting to it. Because when I'm not an actor myself, but as I understand it, when you go method acting, it's all in. There's kind of there's no if or but. You're all in when you're a method actor, and the fact they got that invested is just fantastic. I think it's wonderful.
And obviously, Sir Patrick was instrumental in the Americans learning the correct pronunciation of the word data.
Or the correct pronunciation of a number of words.
Rather than data.
It's a shame he never covered Growler.
When what was it? Dr. Pulaski mispronounces Data's name the entire time, and he says, "One of them is my name, the other is not."
Yeah.
Oh, she's so rude, isn't she?
Well, she just goes, "Well, what's the difference? One is my name, the other is not."
Well, yeah, Dr. Pulaski.
Yeah.
Basically,
How do you like it?
You're a bit of a dick, right?
As Will Wheaton would say, "Don't be a dick."
I'm quite happy being a dick. Actually, I'd much rather be called Dick or Dicky than Rich. When people call me Rich, it really gives me the raving arsehole. I can't
They
pretend.
not address you as Sir Richard, as you're entitled to be.
Sir Richard is what I prefer.
Yeah.
You're in my mobile phone as Richie Ridge. So
Yeah, but Rich or Richie, I can't stand it. Dick, Dicky, or Richard, very happy with, or just Sir, or Your Honour. It's
I read some comments from fans who were not fully in the love affair between Worf and Dex. What do you say
Dax.
to that? I'd say it was Dax.
Who's Dex?
Dax.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is something we've never covered on the show, but I genuinely feel very passionately about because it made no sense to me at all. And I had the raving umpus about this. My growler was on fire. When Jadzia got killed by Ducat, you just assumed that Worf would go on some blood quest and just go after him, and literally you do not want to be in his way. He would be like going for him hell for leather. And they just went, yeah, so your wife's been killed by the big baddie, Worf. And he went, I'm a bit sad about it, and then move on. What? That was the worst writing ever.
My argument is that the Federation was in the middle of a very bloody war. It was very probable that Worf and Dax had a conversation about what would happen if one of us dies and how the one would continue and carry on and all the rest of it. Because it was a series, a time of war. And
then please integrate it with the writing. Don't just, let's build it into the story. Let's not just have Worf become a pussy all of a sudden. It's just like, come on. It was incredible.
We didn't. Worf did that thing of, you remind me of my ex. I'm going to quickly sleep with you just to check.
I'm sorry. I love DS9.
My ex was a giant symbiotic worm.
I really do love DS9, but I'm afraid that particular arc, I do kind of get why it happened because she was unexpectedly pulled out of the story arc and they had to come up with something. But just ignoring the fact that Worf would have the raving arsehole about someone killing his wife is just stupid.
Well, now you've mentioned Deep Space Nine and big arcs, isn't it time for us to mention Babylon 5?
I've not seen it.
Never seen Babylon 5.
Nah.
Okay, well, J. Michael Straczynski, who has had some input in Trek in the past, is rebooting it, apparently. Babylon 5, it has a very dedicated fan base. A lot of people love it. I quite enjoyed it. It was cutting edge with VFX back in the day, stuff that my 3-year-old could probably knock up now using a computer. But that wasn't their fault.
And also, Penn and Teller were in an episode as Rebo and Zooty.
Yes. Anyway, it's coming back. So, that's good news because more sci-fi is always good news.
If we're talking about...
Not always. I mean, there's a couple of series I don't like, but I'm not going to harp on about it.
Have you seen that there's going to be a table reading for a newly written Stargate SG-1 script? Amanda Tapping and Michael Shanks and someone else are getting together to do a table read, and the script has been written exclusively by Google AI.
Is this a film or a TV? I've seen the film Stargate. I quite liked it.
Yeah, I've never really seen
Kurt
one
Russell
of
was in it.
Is this like where you get a million monkeys in a room and see if they can produce the complete works of Shakespeare?
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
No, that's what they do with Discovery. Sorry.
Well, I'll be
Is it
interested
what they
to
do?
see that. Dan,
Is
the
it generally
table.
what they do with Discovery? I don't know. It's
Well, yeah, you are right, Christoph. That a surprising number of the cast of Babylon 5 have passed away.
what was the fit girl? That was the number one officer. She's not gone, is she?
No, she's still around, but
She was very lovely.
Mira Furlan, she died, I think, last year, and the chap who played Garibaldi, was his name Jerry Doyle?
Because
He
Bill
died quite
Bill
young.
Mummy
Dr. Franklin
was
died very, very young.
Bill Mummy was
injury.
Bill Mummy was a main character in Babylon 5, and he was a recurring actor in Voyager DS9. I don't think he was in TNG though, was he, Bill Mummy?
No, he appeared in one episode of Deep Space Nine as like a marine or something.
I think
he was
in
Will
Voyager
Robinson,
as well. I think he was
originally
in...
Lost in Space.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, that was his sci-fi credentials. And he was it Linear? I think the name of the character in Babylon 5.
He had a funny shell on his head.
As we're talking about sci-fi tonight, as well as Star Trek, are we not due the last episode of Lost in Space very soon, I believe?
Well, it's not a series
season.
now. We've had two
The first
series.
season of the
One
reboot
season.
Lost in Space was superb. The second one, sadly, was not up to par.
Season 3 is the last series they're doing, so they're ending it.
That doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me
culminates
because
it.
season 2 was a bit naff. So,
Season 3, they're no longer lost.
well,
Or possibly even in
I'll
space.
watch it. I'm looking forward to seeing it because the first season was very good. Sadly, the second season wasn't, but I'd like to see it through. I think it's a good reboot.
There was a
Not as good as the original.
If you're looking for something to watch this week, actually, and it's not sci-fi, well, not
Ted Lasso.
Is what? Sorry.
Well said, Richard.
Yeah, I believe. Right, everyone who's
absolutely.
watching this now, I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you like, watch Ted Lasso.
And if you haven't, make sure you do.
Yeah, you won't regret it. It's that good.
Not
Except,
what I
Richard, that the illegal media sharing server that you've allowed me to access, I can't get Ted Lasso to come down.
Yes, you
I'm
can.
getting all these error messages.
You're doing it wrong.
Well, obviously
it's on-
something's wrong. But
Maybe
you know,
wait
my
for
IT
you.
guy
Following
is
day
you.
with a huge
You're wrong.
smile, and everything will be okay.
Honestly,
Maybe
I've
when you
had,
pay for an internet connection that works, James.
honest to God,
Yes, it's not our internet connection that's the problem.
it used to be
This time.
I'd have a bad day and I'd think, it's okay, I can watch Star Trek later. Do you know what? At the moment, I think, doesn't matter how bad my day is, I'll watch Ted Lasso later.
Mhm.
And if I'm having a bad day, I think, what would Ted do? That's generally what I think at the moment. What would Ted do? Because it's that good. It really is.
Well, I've been watching this
Barbecue
series.
sauce.
I've
They can't summon Ronan.
Yes,
James, don't boil your teaspoon live on air.
So yes, right. So let's move on to Wish. Do we have a Wish clip for this week?
We do.
We do. Richard, do you have the wish clip?
Let's roll the
I've
intro.
sorted it. Fear not, I've sorted it.
Well, good evening, dear viewer. Welcome once again to this week's edition of Wish, where Richard has very kindly redubbed a musical project that Riker's Beer did a couple of years ago. Are you
Hang
shaking
on.
your head?
No.
Is it a different-
James, stop
is it
right
a different
there.
clip.
Hang
Well,
on.
It's the clip that
Wait,
you said
no.
about last week, and then you
No,
said you didn't
wait.
need, so I've done it
Wait.
ready for this
I
week.
assume we backed up.
No, hang
the other
on.
one.
No, look, I've had a long weekend and I've had a lot to drink. So just bear with me. I think I know what's going on here. James, start introducing it again.
Oh, are we going to run your clip, Richard, or the
No,
spare
just
one?
start introducing what you were going to introduce
Keep it
again.
spare for next week. I think Richard just needs you to pad this out slightly, James, so he can have the one that you're talking about.
So anyway, a couple of years ago, some of us may have had a bit of a knockabout and made a music video, and then it got taken down for copyright infringement because of the soundtrack. So we resolved that by reproducing the soundtrack. Roll VT.
when the day is gone. On a Texas Sunday morning, how I long to be there with Marie, who's waiting for me there. Every lonely city where I hang my hat ain't as half as pretty as where my baby's at. Is this the way to Amarillo? Every night I'll be hugging my pillow, dreaming dreams of Amarillo, and sweet Marie who waits for me. Show me the way to Amarillo. I've been weeping like a willow, crying over Amarillo, and sweet Marie who waits for me. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la, 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 and Marie who waits for me. There's a church bell ringing with a song of joy that it's singing for the sweet Maria and the guy who's coming to see her. Just beyond the highway, there's an open plain, and it keeps me going through the wind and rain. Is this the way to Amarillo? Every night I've been hugging my pillow, dreaming dreams of Amarillo, and sweet Marie who waits for me. Show me the way to Amarillo. I've been weeping like a willow, crying over Amarillo, and sweet Marie who waits for me. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la, 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 and Marie who waits for me. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la, 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 and Marie who waits for me. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la, 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 and Marie who waits for me. Come
A
on.
big thank you to everyone who participated in that that video. Particular thank you to our friend Joe Pellero, who's one of the ladies wearing the science scant there, who completed the London Marathon today.
Bravo,
After
Joe.
watching
Bravo,
that,
Joe. Excellent
after
work.
watching that, who's so excited for Destination Star Trek?
Hell
I
yeah.
know. I'm so
Ooh.
excited because I had to do that whole song from
No,
scratch.
No, we all know that song was sung by the one and only Benjamin Sisko. I could tell.
Sorry, yes, I had to redo that whole song from scratch as Benjamin Sisko to get around the incredible copyright infringements that it was just astonishing. So originally I did it to just a karaoke track, and they pulled that down.
So anyway, destination. The four of us will be there. We'll be doing bits and pieces. We will probably try and do another music video or something. What did we do
There'll be
last time?
lots of that going
With all
on.
the red shirts. That was fun.
There'll be all that going on. But this year's theme for the video, if anyone in the audience is under 40, basically there was a program called Police Squad where you had the start, there was a police siren going and everything. So we're going to try and do that this year. So everyone can take part in that. It's going to be
Can
good
we
fun.
have the theme tune from Police Squad, please, Richard?
No.
Oh, go on.
Oh,
Go on. It's
I don't know
brilliant.
where it
Stick
is.
on.
right. So let's have a look. Emma says she can't wait for DST. I see that in the comments. Gary as well. Fantastic. Oh, am I right in saying it's 6 weeks to destination?
It's not long.
Sounds about right.
I'm seriously so excited for it. I don't want to run this down for anyone. I don't think there's going to be a great deal of guests that people really want to see there. But do you know what? I'm looking
Don't
forward to
care.
seeing all of you.
But hey, if you want to go to an event that doesn't have a lot of guests, but doesn't cost much money, why not come to the Rikers Beard social event on the 23rd of October, where we'll have no guests, but we'll
That'd
be
be
having a lot
amazing.
of fun.
Well, there will be. Jonathan Frakes will be there. But when we go
Jonathan Frakes
to
has been invited.
yeah.
Keep spending fund.
Now, the Rikers bit, am I assuming that I'm gonna, the Let's Talk Trek team, we're going to be there from the Thursday, aren't we? Is everyone going to be there from the Thursday? Is that the
Well,
plan
we can
still?
do that, Richard. It'd be quite nice
This
to
could be
get
really
there.
awkward because the ST spending fund at the moment is less than £5.
But I think we were planning on doing some sort of meet up at the Science Museum or something. But we'll closer to the time we'll make an announcement.
We should talk about it off the show because Carl has news on this. So.
And we'll go to a Chinese restaurant and we'll all do that. And they won't think that
Steal
we're
some
just
cats.
being condescending. It'll be amazing.
Can you get a Chinese cat that does that?
Only if it's from
Long
the
live
mirror.
the Empire.
Hang on, what's this Alan's put up? Who's brave enough to follow this link?
I'm not going to follow any kind of link that Alan's put up.
No, I'm not going to. No.
I know full well it's going to be
I've just
never going to give you up, never going to let you down.
Did you see the
Oh,
lady?
gosh.
Did you see the lady this week that had the tattoo, James? As a coroner, you may appreciate this.
Don't
There's a
tell
lady.
people my real job.
There's a lady who
He's
has
not a coroner. He just likes dead people.
there's a lady who's had a tattoo of a QR code put onto her leg, and when you scan the QR code, it takes you to YouTube and go and plays the Rick Roll theme. And she said that the reason she got it is when she shuffles on, she wants whoever it is to have to scan the QR code and get Rick rolled.
I mean, it's a bit silly because what happens if that link is broken by the time that she has the post-mortem? Or let's imagine that she might have a bit of a stretchy skin situation. The QR code may no longer be readable. It's just you've got to think ahead on these
This
things.
is the problem I've always had with tattoos. It doesn't matter what tattoo you get. When you reach 60, it still looks like you've had a load of Stilton on your arm,
So it's indeed 6 weeks to destination and 11 weeks today until Christmas.
11 weeks till Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
I already have 120 people booked in for Christmas dinner.
Ooh.
And that
Why don't
doesn't
you
include
cook at
me.
home, Carl? What are they thinking?
How much is Christmas dinner this time?
£65 a head.
What do you get for 60?
Now, what I should be charging my family? Because I've got a big house. Literally, all the family comes to my. It costs a bloody fortune. 65 quid a head.
Mate, my house is huge. I get to do 120 odd people.
Frankly,
so far.
I do. I don't want people coming to my home and disturbing my Christmas.
Would you like to come to mine, James?
I mean, are we going to watch the war film after lunch?
Yes.
Good, because
Queen's
Christmas-
Speech, war
Yes,
film.
well, first of all, get home from midnight mass. Now, I know you won't do that because you're a.
I've been
Heathen.
to midnight mass before, and I wasn't set on fire.
You struggle home. You make sure Father Christmas has left the children the gifts. You make sure he's written the note and that the mince pie is gone. And you go to bed. You get woken up at 5 a.m. by an excitable child. You get to
It's
open
always
the present.
5 a.m., isn't it? That's
Yeah.
one thing I've found bizarre as a parent. It's always 5 a.m.
Then you go downstairs and you make espresso martinis, and your day can start.
Oh, it's the morning Bucks fizz that gets me through the day.
So,
It's you've got to balance out.
Don't tell anyone, but as a pub manager, it's one of only 2 shifts a week where I allow my staff to have a drink on shift.
Isn't that illegal?
When I used to work behind the bar,
technically not illegal.
so when I used to work behind the bar, this was the dangerous bit. When I worked behind
I
the
shall
bar,
be checking, Carl.
if anyone
Go
ever
for it.
said, "Can I buy you a drink?"
Might be
I
against
say
company
yes.
policy, but it's not technically illegal.
I say yes. I'll have a half with you, thank you. And I used to have a half pint glass that I used to just keep topped up through the whole night. And the problem was I never had any idea how much I'd drunk because I just used to keep the glass topped up the whole night, and I used to get absolutely sloshed.
so
So for me, the worst part of Christmas is Christmas lunch, because frankly, I don't know why everyone gets so excited about having roast turkey, which is the blandest, most tedious meat.
Okay, so next year, James, cook your turkey upside down.
My
I'd
Christmas
be
this
happy
year
with
is going
just
to consult
pizza, to be honest. And then we can watch the Queen, and then the war film, and we keep drinking, and then we play
Cook
the
your
game. we
turkey
have the
upside
argument,
down.
and we all go
Honestly,
to bed.
turkey's delicious, but seriously, cook it upside down.
So my one this year is I am working Christmas Eve, so I'll probably get in from a nightclub at about 4 or 5 a.m. on Christmas Day.
I was going to say, you'll get home as our children are waking up.
So I'm going to go to sleep. And then I've also been booked to work a nightclub on Christmas Day because it
What?
is a Saturday.
Who are these people who go to nightclubs
What?
on Christmas Day? Why are
It
you
is
not
a
sitting at
Saturday,
home
so
round the piano singing carols with your family?
We are opening as normal. So normal openings, which is always going to be fun.
People, Christmas is a time for family, not
And then
night.
Boxing Day, boys and girls, will be a Let's Talk Trek Christmas special where we will show you what we got for Christmas and open assorted Christmas gifts.
Oh,
You
are
do
we not going to
realise
have a
that
festive?
Sunday, Dan.
Are we not
You
going to do the
realise that
normal?
Boxing Day for me is just as busy as Christmas Day, but with all the people that didn't want to pay Christmas Day money but want the Christmas Day service, and so ends up being a worse day for me than Christmas Day.
So Boxing Day is going to be the Let's Talk Trek Best of Let's Talk Trek special. Where you get to see the-
Put it this way: you'll either get that or the worst case of Scrooge from me you've ever seen.
Humbug. There's nothing of grave about you.
think
More of
Richard's
gravy.
rants in the early days of Let's Talk Trek were horrific? That's nothing compared to me at the
Right.
end of a Boxing Day.
got-
let me
In fact-
assure you.
Oh my God, I've got an idea for a destination. It's such an amazing idea. Let's do an advent calendar, not elf on a shelf. Let's get an elf on a shelf hat and do Trekkie on a shelf and get various photos of Trekkies in various positions. And we'll do a Trekkie a day on a shelf for
Various positions, Dan.
positions. Maybe we can get
Surely
someone
you
from the
want
Growler
Trekkie
to come and do.
Recce or something. That's how that works, isn't it?
Maybe someone from the USS Growler can come and do a position.
Right, we've had
We come full circle.
we're nearly
Choose
our
your
allotted
choose yet?
time.
Oh, there is no choose your choose.
No choose
had-
your choose.
No, I've got no choose your choose this week, but I've
Oh.
pre-recorded a song on the Star Trek guitar because I've been inundated with requests from one viewer that says they want to see more of the Star Trek guitar. I can't play it because my children are asleep, so I pre-recorded a song which I posted on the Rikers Beard page earlier, but I said I would play tonight in the show. So hang on a second. Otherwise, I'll play the Umbrella video again, and here we go. Right.
Or you could play the correct trailer.
Just a castaway, an island lost at sea. Oh, another lonely day, no one here but me. Oh, more loneliness than any man could bear. Come on and rescue me before I fall into despair. Oh, I send my SOS to the world. I send my SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle. Message in a bottle, yeah. A year has passed since I wrote my note, but I should have known this right from the start. Only hope can keep me together. Love can mend your life. Love can break your heart. I send an SOS to the world. I send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle. Message in a bottle, yeah.
So there we go. That's
So you're mail on in a bottle. Fantastic.
That was me made on a bottle. Yes,
What sort of bottle was it?
this is a polluted one.
Did you throw it in overarm or underarm?
I'm a man. I threw it overarm.
Okay. Could you use a ketchup bottle?
The problem you have if you're going to throw a bottle to sea, you've got a plastic bottle is no good. Got to use a glass bottle. Got to get some distance. So it's no good just using a standard ketchup bottle. But,
Use a tequila bottle.
yeah, any glass bottle with a cork is good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's very kind of everyone to say it's a nice tune. It's one of my favourite songs. If you want to see the best ever version of that song played by anyone, then please YouTube Sting doing that on TFI Friday. So Sting did it. He was on TFI Friday, but not to play that song. Apparently they got stuck up in the cool room when it was presented, and it was really hot and the air conditioning was broken, and everyone was really grumpy. And Sting came in. It's like, can you just play them a song just to cheer them up? And he said, yeah, I'll do message of a bottle on my own with an acoustic. And my God, just listening to Sting do that just on the acoustic by himself, it's just wow. Obviously, he wasn't playing a Star Trek guitar; it wasn't as good as mine. But yeah, it's the best version of that song ever. It's just incredible. It's impromptu. He did it just to cheer everyone up. It was just amazing.
Is it like when Cliff Richard sang "Summer Holiday" at Wimbledon? It was raining.
Stop. So, Estefania, yes, you're absolutely correct. So, if you're not watching Ted Lasso, you have to watch Only Murders in the Building. It does star Steve Martin and Martin Short. And yes, I've picked up 3 Amigos Easter eggs already. It is really, really good. So not only has Disney Plus got The Orville, it's got Only Murders in the Building. And it is brilliant. It's really good. It's not as good as Ted Lasso, but it's really good at Estefania. Yet again, could you please respond to my marriage proposal? Thank you.
The present Mrs. Dillon and I watched Father of the Bride yesterday. That happened to be on television, and that's
brilliant.
Steve Martin and Martin
Great
Short as
film.
well. It's
Brilliant.
They're always in each other's orbit, aren't they?
So underrated.
Yes. Yeah, such a
I'm
good
currently
film.
watching for the first time, several years late to the party on this one, The American Office, and I'm just on the last season of that now. It gets better. It's very good.
I don't do The Office.
Oh, it gets really good.
I didn't like I don't like Ricky Gervais.
No, this is not the Ricky Gervais version.
The American one with Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
Yeah, well,
Richard, remember, be curious, not judgmental.
you're quite right. I should be curious, not judgmental. You're right. I'll give it a go. I've seen one clip from that where they're doing parkour, which I did actually find quite funny. So, but yes, if you're not watching,
when you're omniscient,
if you're not watching Ted Lasso, which you should be, otherwise you're stupid. Watch Only Murderers in the Building because it's just brilliant.
If you're not watching Ted Lasso, you don't realise that little piece of your life is missing until you've watched it.
Until you watch it. So this is a genuine conversation I had with Mrs. Richard last night. I said, we've only got 5 episodes left, and then we'll have watched all of Ted Lasso. And she went, it's okay. We'll just watch season 1 again.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's that good. it's that
May
good.
I say then, Richard, that so far as your spouse is concerned, you have chosen wisely.
When I said to Mrs. Richard, I said, listen, let's watch this. What's it about? I said, it's about an American football coach that comes to coach a Premier League team, and it's comedy. And she went, I don't watch anything about football. I was like, well, it's meant to be really good. And we got 2 episodes in, and to coin a phrase from the show, this is amazing. I talked my brother into watching it. He's like, well, I'll give it 1 episode. And the next day I said, was it any good? And he said, I watched the entire season in one night.
Mm-hmm.
It was that good. I couldn't switch it off.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
The term you
I've
put
not
to it
watched
was food for the soul.
It is. It's not about football. It's just
I've not
really good
watched
for your
that yet.
soul.
I've not watched it, but I promise by next week's show, which I'm not on next week's show. I'm booked for something. By the time you get back to a show, which will be 2 weeks, I will have watched at least one episode, and I will give you my honest opinion as a non-sports loving person.
Well, that's the thing. It's not about football.
Yeah. So
that's it. Yeah.
Me and my better half used to live with yourself. Yeah. You know how
Not like that,
disinterested.
boys and girls. It sounds really
No,
good.
not like that.
Woman's-
So, and genuinely, you know how disinterested she is in football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's been
Well, it's
watching
not
it while
rugby,
we've
is
been
it?
doing this live stream.
She's been watching Ted Lasso.
She's been
and
watching Ted Lasso while we've been doing this live stream, so
It's
that
that
she can
good.
catch up to where I am.
It's just that good. It's so good. If I watched it without Mrs. Richards, she'd be.
I had to hide the fact that I'd watched ahead of her until tonight.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
And then I
I'd never
said,
get away with it. Yeah,
You may as well take the opportunity of me being in here doing this to catch up with me.
yeah.
And then I
absolutely.
very quickly shut the door.
It's that good.
Well, thank you for watching the Ted Lasso show. Let's talk trade
Let's
stories.
talk Ted Lasso. That's
But yeah, that's been a great show today. Thank you very much, guys. If you have been watching, brilliant. Keep an eye on Destination Star Trek pages, please. I'm sure we'll be doing more announcements in the coming weeks. And we are excited for all things DST.
I'm so excited to see as many of you that can come to DSTL. I really am. It's going to be
But
lovely.
come to Ramsgate on the 23rd of October, when there may be many surprises and stuff that will never be repeated again.
Please don't come on the train.
You may not get there.
Or by lorry.
Beam on down.
Yeah, I'll beam down. Much better.
If there is enough fuel, I shall be there. That's the plan.
Bye, Estefania.
Bye, Estefania.
Right,
Jacaranda.
goodbye from all of us.
Toodle pip.
Take
all
care of
going now.
yourselves.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye from the cat.
And each other.
He's
Bye-bye.
waving.